Therapy costs $200 an hour. Findom pays $200 an hour. It's not manipulation. It's management. The psychology of control becomes empowerment when simps fund your peace. Every transaction is validation with a balance attached. Subscribe now, because today we're unpacking why Findom isn't taboo. It's the modern woman's version of paid self-care. The hidden power of money. For centuries, women were told that power was something they could never truly own, only borrow. Authority belonged to men: fathers, husbands, kings, bosses. Women were positioned as supporting characters in someone else's story, their value measured by how well they could please, serve, or adorn. Worth was confined to beauty, virtue, and domesticity, never currency. Money, influence, and decision-making were locked behind doors women were rarely allowed to open. But then the digital age cracked those doors wide open. Technology didn't just change how we communicate, it changed how power flows. No longer confined to boardrooms or palaces, power can now be wired, tapped, received, and acknowledged in real time. Instantly. Audibly. Unapologetically. A simple notification can now carry centuries of reversal. Enter Findom, financial domination, a dynamic that flips the historical power script on its head. Here, the transaction is more than just a transfer of funds. It's a symbolic act of reclamation. Each tribute isn't an act of greed. It's a declaration. My time has value. My presence has weight. My energy commands attention. Every dollar cent isn't just currency, it's affirmation. It's the world, through the digital fingertips of men, finally acknowledging what society has long tried to suppress. The men who participate in this system, the subs, the paypigs, the devoted followers, are not helpless victims. They are willing participants in a carefully negotiated psychological exchange. They crave structure, surrender, and the thrill of relinquishing control. But unlike in traditional power dynamics, this time the control doesn't flow downward. It flows upward, into the hands of the woman. The thrill of Findom isn't in taking by force. It's in receiving by choice. It's in knowing that every tribute is offered willingly, that each transaction reflects desire, respect, and a clear acknowledgement of dominance. It's the power of presence made tangible, of self-worth turned into something measurable. Power in Findom doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It whispers with every incoming notification. You are seen. You are valued. You are respected. You are worshipped. Redefining self-care. Self-care is no longer just facials, bubble baths, and meditation apps. It's energy. It's affirmation. It's choosing who gets access to your time, your thoughts, and your power. Findom is self-care made digital, immediate, and luxurious. Every Cash App ding becomes more than a monetary transaction. It's a heartbeat of recognition, a pulse of respect, a tangible form of gratitude. You don't chase affection, you command attention. You don't wait for love, you receive devotion. You don't barter your emotional labor for crumbs, you invoice for it. Imagine a world where your massages are funded, your silk robes arrive via tribute, and your wellness retreats are sponsored by your followers. That isn't indulgence, that's mastery. Every dollar reinforces the truth. Your worth is quantifiable, your boundaries are sacred, and your confidence has a price tag the world cannot ignore. The psychology of submission. Findom isn't about cruelty. It's about consent, trust, and emotional architecture. The sub submits willingly because it brings them fulfillment. They aren't coerced. They are participants in a ritual that nurtures both sides of the exchange. You as the dom are not just collecting money, you're teaching lessons, setting boundaries, and sculpting emotional landscapes. Each command, each instruction, each acknowledgement is a reminder of your sovereignty. The sub finds satisfaction in giving, you find power in receiving. This is sacred energy transfer. The dynamic is not transactional in the shallow sense. It's transformative. It's therapy, empowerment, and spiritual alignment all wrapped in one elegant package. Monetizing confidence. In Findom, the true currency isn't greed, it's confidence. Every tribute is a digital echo of self-worth. It's a message that says, my presence carries weight, my energy commands respect, and my boundaries are not up for negotiation. The money is real, but the deeper transaction is emotional. It's not just a transfer of funds, it's the steady reinforcement of value in a world that has long tried to discount it. Think of it this way: for centuries, women were trained to shrink themselves, to undervalue their labor, their beauty, their intellect, their existence. They were taught to give endlessly and ask for nothing. But now, that conditioning is being dismantled in real time. Instead of silently absorbing expectations, women are invoicing their worth, digitally, unapologetically, and publicly. And the world, or at least the willing participants, is paying attention. Quite literally, that's not just a trend, that's a quiet revolution. Because Findom isn't merely about financial domination. It's about radical self-respect. It's about rewriting the rules of engagement. When you stop begging for crumbs of attention and start monetizing the spotlight itself, the entire power dynamic flips. You no longer chase validation. Validation arrives in your account, attached to a note that says tribute. And here's the critical part: no one is being exploited. The exchange is consensual, deliberate, and energetically balanced. It's a meeting of psychological needs: structure and surrender on one side, authority and affirmation on the other. The digital goddess economy. We live in a world that measures women's worth in invisibility. Emotional labor without pay, effort without acknowledgement. Findom flips the equation. Here, femininity becomes currency. Energy becomes economic power. Presence becomes profit. Each tribute, each tip, each message of devotion is more than digital money. It is acknowledgement of power, affirmation of self-worth, and a celebration of agency. You're not taking from men, you're reclaiming what the world tried to undervalue. The digital goddess economy is real, thriving, and transformative. Every notification reminds you that your time is precious, your attention is valuable, and your energy has unmatched leverage. This is modern empowerment built for women who refuse to apologize for being formidable. The glow-up mechanics. The glow-up is no longer metaphorical. It is literal, tangible, and funded. Spa days, designer bags, luxury vacations, wellness retreats. All paid for by devotion, not by desperation. This isn't vanity, it's victory. Every tribute teaches the lesson that self-love and self-care are non-negotiable. Every Cash App notification becomes a mantra. I am seen. I am valued. I am worthy. While society tells women to hustle for scraps, Findom teaches them to attract abundance. Effortlessly, unapologetically, and luxuriously. Massage plus money equals meditation. Confidence plus tribute equals transformation. The spiritual exchange. Findom is more than kink. It's an energetic symphony, a sacred ritual, a manifestation of divine feminine power. The sub participates willingly, offering devotion and obedience. The dom receives gracefully, setting boundaries and commanding respect. The process isn't transactional, it's transformative. You are teaching respect, balance, and emotional intelligence in a world that rarely values feminine authority. Each interaction is a practice of sovereignty. Each tribute is a tangible measure of your power. Each acknowledgement reinforces your value. It's meditation with money, therapy with touch, self-care with boundaries. Misunderstood power. Critics call Findom selfish, shallow, or manipulative. But they misunderstand the philosophy. For centuries, women's labor, emotional, mental, spiritual, was unpaid, unacknowledged, and unvalued. Findom simply bills what was always owed. This is radical self-respect disguised as modern kink. It's an art form, it's strategy, it's revolution. And every woman who participates is reclaiming her narrative, her worth, and her peace, while men willingly participate in her empowerment. The glow-up isn't just external, it's internal, spiritual, and deeply transformational. It's proof that feminine energy, when monetized respectfully, can shift the dynamics of power in any relationship, digital or otherwise. Findom is not sin, it's sovereignty. Not scandal, empowerment. Not manipulation, mastery. Every tribute is a reminder that your energy has value. Every tip is proof that your time is sacred. Every dollar is an echo of your worth. And while critics rant, you thrive, glow, and expand, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. You don't chase affection, you attract devotion. You don't plead for respect, you command it. You don't apologize for power, you embrace it. The world has underestimated feminine energy for centuries. Findom is how it finally pays its dues. Every Cash App ding is a love letter. Massage plus money equals meditation. Findom flips the script. Power, peace, and profit all in one. You're not taking advantage, you're taking control. Like, share, and subscribe for more unapologetic truths about money, mindset, and why emotional labor finally deserves a paycheck.